Hello guys, today I've got Olivier from Belgium who's going to talk a little bit about the recycling experience in different countries because he's the one who has managed to live in several countries, also in Latin America. Hi Olivier.
Hi.
Tell me, you've been living before in Brazil, right?
Yes.
Where exactly?
I was living in the state of São Paulo.
But not in the city itself?
I lived in the city of São Paulo, but I also lived outside of the city of São Paulo.
Okay, so this is nice because it's interesting how the Brazilians organize themselves, the recycling within big cities or in the remote areas. Does it exist at all?
Yes, I would say I can clearly see a difference between what we are used to in Europe, you know, and what we see actually in Latin America. Either it's in Brazil or in Panama, where I live right now. I was living in Sweden before.
Yeah.
And there's a clear difference between the practices in Scandinavia and the practices in Latin America.
But Brazilians, they are moving towards the European experience or still not there?
I think they are still not there. I think it's just not part of their culture, you know.
But they have some recycling centers created by the state or is not existing?
If I would put it on a scale, I would say Panama is probably at the lowest, you know. I would put maybe Brazil in the middle, but still a lot of things to improve, you know. And I would put Scandinavia on the top, definitely in terms of facility. I think it's also a matter of social injustice, you know. When you have a big difference between very rich people and very poor people, you know. In some cases, in some very poor neighborhood, they don't have even the trucks. You know, the streets are so small that the trash truck they cannot go in. So it's difficult for them.
Okay, so then you still see a lot of trash on the streets, on the side roads.
Yes, probably not as much as what I would see here in Panama in some neighborhoods, but you can still see a lot of things to improve, especially in the very poor neighborhoods.
Okay. And here in Panama, have you kept, let's say, the same habits as used to have in Belgium to sort the garbage, or?
Well, we're trying to, but it's really difficult. You know, simply the infrastructure is not there. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, I think what the difference is that packaging here is not seen as a valuable good. You see, the thing is that if you in some countries, packaging material, so the trash is seen as something that is of value. So you bring your bottle back to the supermarket, and then you will have a machine that is going to scan the bottle, and is going to give you a little ticket, and you can buy things with that.
Or you can cash.
You can
money,
cash,
like in
or you can bring your packaging material, your trash to the recycle station, and it's seen as something that has a value. Here it's not the case. You know, trash is seen as trash, and therefore they don't give it the right value and they just throw it away.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's hard to keep up on the recycling here in Panama. But at least I believe you don't let the garbage on the nature if you go out with the family.
No, I don't. And it's funny. I was going to a place in Panama, and the people who depend on tourism, they don't realize. And this guy was there, and he was just throwing his, you know, beer can on the floor. And he was a local. He depends on the tourism, so he shouldn't be doing that. But
they don't care.
They don't care. You know?
Okay. I wanted to ask you one thing. Something that I started doing here in Panama. Sometimes when we go out, especially to the beach, and I see a lot of plastic around, I ask my kids to help me to collect the plastic garbage.
Right.
To teach them, just to show them a good example.
Yes.
Would you like to do that with me?
I can. Yes, of course, I would like to do it. I've done it already. Right, myself.
Oh, you do it with your family as well?
I went on the beach. I'm a bit skeptical about this, you know.
Why?
I think the solution is not collecting the trash. The solution is avoiding the trash to go on the beach.
That's true.
So I think we need to educate more the people. We have to give them the right infrastructure, so that in Panama, the practice of very poor people in the poor neighborhoods is that since they don't have the trucks coming in, they will leave the trash in front of their house, waiting for the rain.
To wash it away.
To wash it away. That's the normal practice because there is no one to collect trash at their place, you know. But we need to provide them the right infrastructure. We need to provide them the right tools, the right education, so that this trash actually does not reach the beach.
Yeah.
Because I've done it before. It was the worst experience of my life.
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating.
I believe that's true. But you know, sometimes I was thinking, even if out of I don't know how many people are here now on the beach. 500 people watching me, and they think, okay, maybe I should probably do the same, or even stop throwing the garbage in the nature. If it's one person out of 500, I'm happy. But of course, I will never know that, and that's the frustrating part of it. But at least, you know what keeps me motivated? That my kids will never do that, seeing me doing this dirty job.
I think we need to do both. We need to maybe go in the neighborhoods and educate people about the importance of not doing this practice of leaving the trash in front of their house. It's all about education. So education, yes, you can go on the beach.
But for example, is it something that your two daughters, they are taught at the Panamanian school here, or it's international school, right?
Right.
So they are teaching them this attitude.
Yeah, my daughter was the eco leader of her class, but they still live in a very nice bubble. The issue is, first of all, we have to change our practices as citizens. We need to stop eating biscuits with plastic packaging. We need to reduce our waste footprint, and that means making some sacrifices on our way of living, because we just generate too much trash.
Something that companies are still not ready for that.
Yes.
So let's go to pick up the plastic. I think we can do it very fast on this beach, with all the cafeterias around.
So I've done it once in front of where I live in Costa del Este. Where it is. It's not enough to do one. You need to be ready to do this every weekend. It's not a fun exercise, but if you really want to make a difference, you have to take it seriously and do this every weekend. Otherwise, once per year or once every 3 months, it's not going to be enough.
No.
In 2050, there is more plastic in the ocean than there is fish. In 2050.
That's the forecast.
That's the forecast. So we have to really change our practice and stop buying things with packaging material. Stop buying waters in bottles, and this is going to mean a lot of sacrifice for you.
Yeah, for everyone. That's true.
When you bring food for your kids at school, you have to bake your biscuits yourself and stop buying biscuits with the packaging material. This is the kind of thing or you have to bring your own plastic bags to the supermarket. You cannot.
Or paper bags or whatever bags.
Or paper bag. But if you don't feel it in your skin, if you don't feel the pain,
it's true.
It's not happening. That's my true conviction.
No, I totally agree with that. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the work.